I'm in the town centre and I'm with Jack Dodds. Jack's obviously a familiar face to the channel now, very clever lad. Jack, unfortunately, we went down 3-1 to get home to Portsmouth. I was very confident going into the game. I feel proper deflated and down at the minute and sad. Where do you think the game was won and lost?
I think the game was won and lost in the midfield. I thought Portsmouth absolutely battered us in the midfield. If you look, maybe not the second half, but definitely in the first half, the ball was barely ever went into Portsmouth's half, other than when we scored a couple more times. I thought we picked it up a bit in the second half, but I thought the game was won and lost in the midfield. I thought we really lacked a bit of tenacity, a bit of an engine in there. I think Portsmouth just battered us in the midfield, and that's what caused the ball to be in our half so much. And the defending was absolutely diabolical for all 3 goals.
They just look like a yard ahead of us in the middle. I mean, when you play 5 in the middle, you wouldn't expect to get a run in the middle. Why do you think it was? If we play 5 in the middle, how would them like outrun us in the midfield?
Well, you would expect that if you're playing 5 in the middle, that's more than basically any single team would play. I think they had 3 centre midfielders and 2 forward lads out wide potentially. I think that I'm not entirely sure, but you would think with 5 midfielders you would always expect to boss the game. I think the problem was that maybe we don't have enough legs in midfield. I mean, don't get us wrong. I think so far this season, I do think we've been quite good, and I think a lot of that's down to the defence. I thought Ledbetter's been class in his role as kind of like the quarterback, I think you would call it. Nowadays, just sort of holding back off the 2 of the centre midfielders, but I thought Power was an absolute ghost today, and I didn't like him. I've always been positive than most fans, more positive than most fans about him, but I thought Power was an absolute ghost today. He didn't do anything. He may as well have not been there. So I just don't think we had enough legs in the midfield.
It's a really disappointing day for Sunderland. I mean, it's our first defeat. I mean, we can move on and get on from this, but I mean, Portsmouth they just look like. I mean, they haven't started the season well, but apparently their away form's been really good. Jack, I mean, it's just like the defence. The defence is the thing what we've it's been our main positive in this season. We just looked at 6s and 7s at set pieces, and we just looked like really shaky from the start.
Yeah, I mean, so far this season our defence has been the main plus up until today. We hadn't conceded goals since the 3rd minute of the season, and that was a penalty. That was one daft mistake from Burge. But today we left gaps. The first 2 goals came as a result of having a huge gap. When Harness ran through, I thought, who on earth is picking him up? I was thinking maybe it was Willis's man, maybe it was O'Nine's.
Their first goal.
Yeah.
It was Willis's on the big.
It was on the right, but I was.
Fault.
I was going to maybe someone else could have marked him, but I was thinking, ultimately, no one's picking him up.
That's his position.
Right, no, I know,
He got sucked
yeah.
in.
No one's picking him up. Obviously, the second goal led, but a little bit was put to give it away. But again, where was 09? I don't even think he was on the screen when the camera. And I said you missed it, but 09, I couldn't even see him on the screen. So we pretty much had 2 defenders, and Portsmouth came through and had the numbers. And then 09, he had that stupid decision. I don't know why he felt the need to clip that lad. Look, yeah, he was probably going to score, but why clip him, get sent off, and give away a penalty? That just seemed like a bad decision from 09 to me.
I don't know if you've seen the show, Jack, on Thursday. There was a heated discussion between me, Dino, and Terry. I mean, a lot of people call Dino the Dermot. I call him a Dermot. But when you think about it, I mean, he was sort of right in a sense where we have, well, theoretically speaking, he's saying we haven't played anybody in Portsmouth. They'll be in the top 6. I mean, have we sort of dwindled through the season so far, and we played teams who haven't been. We played Charlton, Oxford, Peterborough. I mean, Peterborough's a good side, but is that a bit disrespectful saying we haven't played anybody yet until we played Portsmouth?
I mean, normally I'd completely disagree with Dino, but normally I do. But on Thursday night, I thought he made some really fair points. I was putting a live chat. I must have said to agree Dino about 5 or 6 times, because I think he was making some really fair points. But I would disagree to say that we haven't played anyone, because Oxford have had a terrible start this season, but we still know they're a decent team. Peterborough, I don't know. Peterborough, they've done quite well so far this season. They always do well. They're going to be up there. They're a decent team. And Charlton, I'm not entirely sure how Charlton's getting on this season, but we know that they're a good team. And we've played Charlton, and we didn't win, but we got a point and a clean sheet. So I don't think today was our first big test. I think it was our biggest test so far today. But I still think we've played difficult teams. We haven't just played nobodies. I remember looking at our first few fixtures, going, we've got one of the hardest starts you could ask for.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a massive weight of call today. We've kept that many clean sheets, but Portsmouth, you know, they made us look so amateurish today, mind, in all aspects. I mean, the defence and midfield, it was like men against boys for me.
Joy, Alicia, you took the words out of my mouth. I was literally going to say it looked like men against boys. It looked like come up with another expression, looked like a non-league team playing. They were just better than us in every area of the pitch. Every second ball, they were there to it quicker. And when they came forward, they came at us with so much pace. We didn't know what to do. And as much as we didn't create any chances, very rarely did we even have the ball in the final third or even create the chance.
And it's disappointing. I mean, I think we're 7th or 8th now in the league, but we've got a game in hand. The positives at the game, Jack?
Very few. White got a goal, and I slate him all the time. I'm really not his biggest fan, but he got a goal today. I thought Hume did well to keep the ball in. So I'm struggling to think of any positives, to be honest, other than it's Portsmouth. They're one of the better teams in the league. We've got 2 winnable games coming up. Hopefully we can just. We should be looking at 6 points out the next 2 games. Anything less than that, Gillingham and Rochdale is shocking. Gillingham are a good side. I would still expect us to beat them 9 times out of 10. So I think the only positive is that we know Portsmouth are a good team. We've got 2 winnable games coming up. There's no positives from the game, though, really.
Like I say, Rochdale, Gillingham, it's got to be 6 points, Jack.
Surely.
It's got to be 6 points. Nothing more. You know, 6 points. End of. Man of the match, mate.
I genuinely, I kind of think of one. Normally I would be able to give you one, but honestly, I kind of give it a single player. I give it a Portsmouth. I give it a Harness. Thought, yeah, good game.
Thanks for your time, pal. As always, massive respect to Jack Dodds. All right, we're in the town centre. I'm with Nathan, aka Mackham FC. Nathan, obviously, it's a disappointing day for Sunderland Football Club, and that's only the first defeat of the season. But I feel really down at the minute. Like I was really confident going into the game. Obviously, we lost the game 3-1. Why do you think it went wrong today, Nathan?
I don't know where it went wrong, because the team was pretty strong that we put out. It just seemed to be like the defence switched off completely. We've been playing really well. Defence has been really good. I mean, what was it? We conceded 1 goal the entirety of the season, and it wasn't even from open play. It wasn't a penalty, and then all of a sudden defence switches off in the big game, and you just think, why is it always the big games? Why can't we do it? Like, I don't make sense. But if you're going to switch off against the little teams. Yeah. These type of games you need to be winning.
Nathan, I'm just like Stephen Hensel, who's my friend who's sitting was at during the game. He basically said he's not really. He made a point actually. Phil Parkinson in the big games. And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, is he right? Phil Parkinson in the big games, even last season, is he too defensive in the big games?
He is going to be a bit more defensive in the bigger games, mainly because there's more at stake. But look, as well, going down 10 men as well later on in the game didn't help us either. I know it's late on.
The game was lost by them.
I'm saying it was lost by them, but still it didn't help, because even then we tried to make something happen towards the end, didn't we?
Yeah.
With a few chances. But you could say Luke 09 was a massive miss out on that right hand side.
Left hand side, well.
Left or right.
In the back three, left one. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke 09, I know he mentioned he got sent off. He actually during the game, counter-attacked by Portsmouth. He took one for the team because he took the yellow card. If he didn't make the forward out, it would have probably scored. He took one for the team, but then obviously that left him wide open. So then later on, he had the foul for the penalty, and then he got sent off.
It was a stupid send off, to be honest. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'd rather let him go through, because whatever outcome there is probably going to be a goal the worst outcome. He's going to score either from that way or a penalty. You know straight away once he goes in the box, if there's any contact, he's going to be red carded. He's going to be out now for the next game, which is disappointment.
I mean, I haven't checked the tables. I see I'm pot deflated. Like
7 points off.
I was 7 points off now. And Michael Bowes was saying in the group chat there were only 4 points off second place. But I mean, is this like a wake-up call? What we needed? Do we need to get beat at the end? You know, for the players to realise that if you're not going to be at it, then these things can happen. I mean, Portsmouth. I mean, looking at it, I thought Oxford were a good side. I thought like we played. Oxford were in the top 6 last season. We've had some good teams this season, but I mean, is Portsmouth the first real test of this season? And this is when we're going to define it. And we've lost them. We're being really poor.
Well, like you say there, this is a big test for us, and we need to be winning these games. If you lose them, it's going to be a massive wake-up call to the players. They need to be looking at themselves and saying, look, we've got to be on it every single game here. We've got to go into this game thinking, even if it's a 1-0 win, scrappy one, at least it's a win. 3 points, clean sheet, that's all you want. I'm not bothered if we go out and blitz teams 3-4-0, because at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. It's about getting the 3 points any way you can.
Nathan, what happened to the defence? I mean, the defence has been it's been the solidness together, the togetherness. And today it just wasn't there. From the start, the first 5 minutes, I was like, "What's going on here?" They were shaky. They weren't organised. From set pieces, they looked vulnerable. And I was going, if we got to half time 2-1 down, I'm thinking, well, that's not bad for Parkinson can change some at half time, give them a rollicking. But that defence, I mean, what we based ourselves on this season just fell to pieces in this game.
Exactly. We've been really solid defensively all season, like I've said earlier on. And then today, all of a sudden, they've just decided they want to part quick the Miguel Khalifa's legs.
I mean, do you think it's just, we've got Rochdale midweek. I mean, that's our tip them to go down. I mean, it's a massive game. We've got to win that game, and then we should win that game comfortably. I mean, let's just hope this is a bad day at the office.
We should be winning that game comfortably, but if we're like that, there's no way we're going to be winning that comfortably. No way. I don't even think we'll get a point out of that if we're playing like that. But then again, it's probably just a bad day at the office. We'll probably bounce back.
Man of the match, Nathan?
I'm going to go Charlie White. He's been impressing us.
Thanks for your time, mate. Cheers, pal. SAFC Fan TV, I'm SHAUN MIDDLETON. I'm in the town centre and I'm with Jack Shields. Jack, unfortunately, Sunderland have lost the first league game of the season against Portsmouth 3-1 on a day for me where we got off to a bad start. For me, you can't take it away from Portsmouth. They were easily the better side on the day.
Yeah, no complaints with the result. They were the better team in every department, I thought. We conceded early on, which is never great, it's an uphill task. And then we got ourselves back into it. And then at 1-1, it was a case of come and go on and win the game, and it was more sloppy mistakes. It was a couple of individual errors from players that cost. I think Ledbetter was the one that gave the ball away in the middle of the day. I think they got the game plan spot on. Portsmouth, they pressed us high. They pressed us high up the pitch. They nicked the ball off us. They waited for us to make a mistake. They looked organised and efficient. And I think I've spoken to you a couple of times before, Sean. I think Portsmouth will be right up there at the end of the season. We've had a bit of rivalry with them over the past couple of seasons, haven't we, at Wembley and the playoffs and things like that. And yeah, they were the better team today and they deserved the win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Obviously, the interviews I done earlier on, Jack. I thought the team selection was all right. I thought he just went with the 3-5-2, which has done us well last few games. As I was speaking off camera there, I think this has happened the last couple of years where teams come up and they're just getting in our faces, play the pressing game. We conceded an early goal. Yes, we responded really well with Charlie White with the goal, which he's done really well. But even when we got the goal, they were just like outrunning us in midfield. They were outpassing us. I don't know where it went wrong. It was just a bad day for me.
Well, I think when teams are wanting to pressure high up and wait for you to make mistakes, I think the one thing you can do to counteract it is to play the ball quickly. And I think our tempo we were too slow today. Do you know what I mean? I think in spells we're up the tempo and looked like moving it quickly. And you've got to switch it quick. We were getting in positions and we're trying to thread the ball through narrow areas. And if we'd opened the game up a little bit more, we had players on the overload on another side. I think everything that we've done well in the last few weeks has been tight, being organised, be backing up when players are running in behind and, doubling up and, all the basics of defending. And I think we lost that today. I think we were wide open at times. I think Luke O'Nien, who I've never been a huge fan of, I know fans like him, I think he had a poor game today. I think he was, I can't blame him completely, but the first goal came from his position. I don't know where he was. If you're playing right back, you've got to be a right back, you know what I mean? He was up the field and I think it came across from his side and the lad run in and then he got sent off and he was at fault for the third one, and so I think he had a particularly bad game today.
I think what it was, because I think somebody else said that, I think we played the back three, it was Willis was right of the back three, and O'Nien was actually left of the back three. I think in the first goal we just got sucked in, Willis got sucked in and Harness took his chance well. I think O'Nien he took one for the team in the second half where they were on a counter attack and he wiped their play out. I can't remember who it was. He took the yellow and I think if he didn't, the prize would have scored, and then obviously he conceded the penalty, so we got to see that.
I think just positionally though, I think I've always said I think Luke O'Nine's best attribute is his energy. I think he runs forward, he runs his heart out and his energy. I don't think he's got the positional discipline to play at fullback. I've said it all along. I think he is better in a less disciplined role. You know, maybe behind centre midfield. I don't know if there's a position for him in the team, but I don't think it's right back. And I think until we get someone in that position, I think we are going to be a little bit vulnerable there. And I think Hume's improved defensively at left back, but I think in the style that we play, if you're going to play with the wing backs in the 3-5-2, you need decent wing backs, and I don't think we've got it. I don't think either Hume or O'Nien playing in that position. I don't think Glotton's good enough either. We need better players basically for the style we're playing.
Do you think the day Jack was a wake-up call, a massive kick in the teeth, where people were getting, myself as well, I was getting ahead of myself, saying, we're definitely going to get the season, we're playing really well, we're kicking clean sheets, and we played a Portsmouth side who, for some reason, they always turn up when they play us.
Massively so. I think everyone looked at the start and thought on paper it was going to be a really tough start. I think we've got 4 wins and 2 draws, and we've only conceded 1 goal, and I think Peter were getting ahead of themselves. I don't think, in terms of you looking at who's got the best squad in this league, I don't think you would say we'll have the first or second best squad. I think our squad's probably a playoff squad, and I think at the minute that's our level. Unfortunately, we've came up against a team that are going to be there or thereabouts, but I think that they got the tactics right and performed on the day, and we didn't. And when it's going to be level, and it's always tight between us and Portsmouth, there's never more than usually a goal or 2 in it. I think that was the difference today. They applied the game plan better than we did. We got things wrong today.
Kenny Jackett he's got the habit of at Whitton now, manager, even it was Jack Ross, it was now it's Phil Partons, and I don't know what it is, he frustrates me, that man, and then the Portsmouth fans are not very happy with him, but he always seems to do a number on us, doesn't he, with the system, and for me it's just it's a bad day at the office. I just hope the next 2 games we've got Rochdale and we've got Gillingham, it's going to be 6 points, Jack.
Yeah.
Nothing more. Nothing less. It's got to be 6 points.
I think Kenny, he's got a funny face as well, Kenny Jackett. I think he's got one of them faces. One of them faces you just love to slap or hit. I mean, people might say that about me, do you know what I mean? But I think Kenny Jackett's got one of them faces you'd love to punch. There's something about him. But no, he is a good manager. All joking aside, he is a good manager at this level. He seems to get that absolute maximum out of the squad, which I think was a big failure. And you mentioned Jack Ross. I think it was a big failure of him. He didn't get the most out of the squad. I think Kenny Jackett does. But going forward for Sunderland, I think if you get 6 points, this is not. I mean, let's get things into perspective here. We've lost to Portsmouth. It is a bad result. Don't get us wrong. Any time you lose at this level, it's a bad result. But it's not the end of the world. We've got the game in hand if we win it. Yeah. And I think if you get the Rochdale and the Gillingham, if you get 6 points from them next 2 games, teams are dropping points. I think Ipswich lost today to Lincoln. I saw. Teams are going to. I don't think there's a team that's going to run away with 100 points and win this league. Yeah. So I think every team will drop points, but it just ups the ante. Rochdale and Gillingham, because you've lost today, you do need 6 points. If you're getting a draw today on a win, you could say maybe 4 points from the next 2, but now you need 6 points, and anything else is going to really low. Because of the game in hand, it's going to drop us right down.
Yeah. I mean, going to the Rochdale game on Tuesday, Jack, do you think he'll change anything?
O'Nien's going to be suspended, isn't he, unless there's a week, so I think you're going to definitely have to change it from there. I don't know, I think I couldn't have really faulted Phil Parkinson for his tactics, or certainly not the way that he put his team out today. I wouldn't have looked at that team before and gone, he's done. There was nothing drastically wrong that you look at and think, well, that's shockingly out of place. Yeah, I couldn't really fault that. I just think there was too many players didn't really perform today. The players that we've done well, I know White got his goal, but he wasn't quite as influential. Ledbetter didn't have a good game, he's played well recently. O'Nien, he was poor. So too many individual mistakes and too many sort of 5s out of 10s today, and I think that really cost us. But I don't know if there's a great deal you need to change. Will you change it up front? I don't think you change it up front. Charlie White's got a couple of goals, starting to look a bit sharp. Maybe do you take one of the defensive bids out? Maybe do you drop Ledbetter or Scone? I've never really seen a lot from Scone. Do you push O'Brien in O'Brien? Maybe see if his energy in the final third can give us something down Rochdale. I don't know.
Right, quickly, Jack, star man or best moment in the game? It's hard.
It's difficult when we didn't play well. I think you've got to go with the goal, haven't you? I think the goal was good set up. Hume got down on the left hand side and played it across, and it was a decent finish. So I'll probably say that. I don't think anyone really had a good game for Sunderland to do, unfortunately.
Early doors, just quickly, Jack. I'm proper down at the minute. Can we get over this result, and can we get back on track and get back on the promotion trail.
Well, yeah. Well, the good thing about the Championship and the Championship and the Championship, well, the Championship League 1, League 2, the lower leagues is you're playing regularly because you've got the 8 extra games, and particularly because we've started later, the games seem to come quick and fast, and they seem to come straight at you. So the good point is, it's not like we'll have to wait a week. You know, Tuesday night we've got Rochdale, get out of our system, but the effort and application level need to go up a little bit from Sunderland. I think perhaps we were a little bit complacent today, Sean. We came into it on the back of a good run, and we expected just to turn up and beat Portsmouth, and they're a good enough team to beat us as they have. So, but yeah, I think definitely 6 points in the next 2 games and get back on track.
As always, Jack, massive respect. Love your points on the game. Excellent expertise. Stay safe, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks for your time. Thank you. All right, in the town centre, I'm with Danny and Kieran. Unfortunately, Sunderland have lost the first game of the season. We went down 3-1 against Portsmouth. I thought Portsmouth were easily the better side in the game. Why do you think the game was won and lost?
Totally agree. Just, we're not good enough. We've got nothing going forward. And like everybody's been saying about the defence has been like sort of so solid and that, but I'm sorry today, but like they were just so out of touch with everything. You know what I mean? And like honestly, we've got nothing going forward. As always, we've got nothing going forward. We've Danny Graham on, we've been really big on, who were sort of supposedly proven in this league, but they're not proven in this league, you know. And that's the reason why we're not going to go anywhere this season. We're not.
I mean, we've started the season well. I mean, we've kept the clean sheets. You know, the defence has been solid, but everything that we've worked on really well this season just fell to pieces today from the first minute.
The thing is, because we've never played a side as good as them, we've played decent. We've played normal sides in this league. We're an average League One side, and that's all we are. We're an average League One side, and that's not going to change unless Stuart Donald starts spending money, but he's got any interest, so you know what I mean. Unless we are sold, we are going nowhere, absolutely nowhere.
Why do you think the game was lost today, mate?
Well, terrible, absolutely terrible. That's like
we're just not good enough in this league. We're an average side, and that's all we are. We're not a good side. We're an average side.
Do you blame? I mean, the owner gets a lot of flack. I mean, I've been quite vocal on the channel. Stuart Donald is a disgrace. I think he hasn't spent nothing. He's robbed the club really. I can't say too much because I've got to be careful. But I believe that until he sells the club, we need an owner who's going to be ambitious. He's not ambitious. I mean, there was talks yesterday that he was Jim Robble, his chief executive, said that talks are ongoing and it's going really well. Is that just a pie in the sky? You think he's just seeing that?
It's absolute bullshit. What it is bullshit, because at the end of the day, they've took 20 million out of this club. They've took it out of the club, they've took it out of the Sunderland supporters. The supporters are the massive thing in this. That's the only thing that matters in this club. You know what I mean? And like his criminal fucking mates have took that 20 million out of this club, and that's the worst thing about it. You know what I mean? They're getting away with it. They're getting away with it, and they shouldn't get away with it.
I went to the club when I had Hughes, and I had Montgomery.
Years and years ago.
I'm going back years and years ago, and today, when I say what's happening at our club today, it's so destroying.
The only thing we've got in Sunderland, we're going to work, and we've got nothing apart from the football club. And like now, 99% of Sunderland supporters didn't even think they've got a football club, and that's the sad part about it. You know,
annoying how much money is made in the top division, and very little in the bottom division. It's so
they've
destroying.
Just took so much out, and they haven't put it back. 20 million's gone missing from that club. Where's it? When they come out and say, where is this 20 million? They've wrote it off. Exactly. It's absolutely shit. Honestly, it is. Like, anyway, mate.
Right, thanks for your time, all right. Stay safe, all right. Stay safe, mate. Stay safe. Stay safe, mate.